How's it going? Welcome back to the channel. I'm gonna look today at this Hart self-propelled 40-volt lawnmower. It's spring, it's early April, and I picked this up actually at the end of the year last year, and just getting around now. It's time for the first mow, so let's open it up, see what it's like. Well, first surprise right out of the gate is it comes apparently fully assembled. That's pretty amazing. I was expecting to have to put a lot more together. Wow, yeah, that is pretty slick. So I have not looked at the manual yet. It's still wrapped in plastic. But everything is pretty straightforward. You got these that pull and adjust the height, and then this extends. Hopefully you can see that. And maybe I'll read on that part just to make sure I understand so I don't break something. But it looks like these just click into place. Pretty straightforward. I'm guessing this will be the battery. This comes with a 5 amp hour battery. This is the first Hart tool that I bought. I've got Ryobi, Rigid, Milwaukee on the cordless platform. I figured for an end of season sale, this was worth giving a try to these guys. So pretty straightforward, one battery, one charger. I'm gonna go ahead and get that charging now so I can actually use this later today. Well, that's kind of fun. So right off the bat, I open up the manual and it comes with this. So I can get a fast charger for free. That's pretty sweet. A list of other tools that they have, and if I write a review, entered for a $100 Wal-Mart gift card, battery manual, supplemental, quick start guide. Let me just make sure I'm adjusting this right. Yep, just have to push it in. So it's that easy to adjust the height. That looks like the engage to start the blade, and then that's the drive. You know what, I'm gonna cover all that when I get outside. Well, that was a pretty short unboxing because there's really not much to this. You got a safety key, got a battery slot, and then a slot to hold another battery. I'll show you that. And then this looks like the adjust. Yep. So one touch adjust for height. Again, really slick and get you on your way really quickly. That's good stuff. All right, well, I'm gonna let the battery charge. Hopefully it'll warm up a little bit. It's only 50 degrees right now. It's supposed to be 70 today. So this afternoon, after the battery's charged, I'll take this sucker for a spin and we'll see how it does. All right, so this is what it looks like folded down. You can store it vertically or down. And then again, it's pretty straightforward. Just set it to whatever height you need. So I charge this up. It starts, it comes pretty much dead, like 1 bar. It took about 3 hours. This is the 5 amp hour. It took about 3 hours to get from 1 bar to full. That slides into place there. So I believe this is a safety feature, but it does say these have to be fully extended. Actually, let's do this. First, let me do it without. I pull this, press start, nothing happens. But if I pull this all the way back, now see the headlight goes on. 1, 2. So the instructions are right here. You pull that back and this turns the blades on. And then you can adjust the speed. All right, so if you want to use the bagger, it's pretty straightforward. You got a couple hooks right here. You lift up the back chute, and it's pretty straightforward. It just sits right in place. You just have to make sure to pull that plug out beforehand so that it'll fill. But to adjust the height, it's really easy. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it goes from 1.5 to 4 inches in height, which is pretty solid difference. Another nice feature here is that it does have the battery section, but it also has a blank section. So if you have a second battery, you can just store it in there and not have to run back in. I think those headlights might be the best feature so far. All right, so out of the box, this is what it looks like. I'm gonna go ahead and give it a shot and see how it cuts. All right, so after mowing the lawn now, this is my 4th time mowing it. I probably have to rate it around 4.2 stars. It's a little better than 4. I don't think it's quite 4.5 for me. The battery pack that it comes with is a 5 amp hour, and I think what would make it perfect would be if it came with a 6. I ran out once, and I've come close to the point where the battery was flashing a couple times, and I've got about 0.2 acre lot, so minus the house, as a reference point. That being said, it also is early in the year, and the grass is really thick. This time I just mowed it now. I don't know if you could tell or not in the video, but the grass was 10-12 inches in some places, really thick, and it does a pretty good job of cutting through it just like a gas mower would. So that aspect of it is great. The battery life, again, like I say, I wish I just had a little bit more, or maybe if it came with 2, 3, or 4 amp hour batteries as opposed to 1.5, that would be about the perfect match. Another thing that kind of dings it for me is the startup speed. It takes a minute. It takes probably 2 or 3 seconds to get from the time you engage the throttle to getting up to full speed, which takes some getting used to. It's, you know, if I had done this review after the first time I used it, I probably would have given it 3.5 stars. I think part of that was just going from gas to electric. There's a learning curve, definitely, where now I can get a little bit better at
squeezing the throttle engagement when you're turning the corner, as opposed to waiting until you're lined up and ready to go. So that takes a little bit of the time off. Other than that, it's a really good mower. It cuts well. Again, this up here is really thick grass, like really quite thick, and it really did fine through all here. This is probably the thickest part of the yard, and even in the other sections that are thinner but tall, it actually does better than I thought it would at not leaving clumps of grass. My gas mower definitely would leave. It wouldn't mulch nearly as well. Some of that might just be the blade, but that being said, it does a great job. The only other thing that I can think of is the speed. I'm about 6'3", so I wish it had just a little bit more speed. It's slower than I would probably naturally walk. But again, for most people, it's going to be fine. And then the last thing that I'm kind of surprised at is, if I was buying this again, I would probably actually get the non-self-propelled, just for the sake of getting it up to full speed and the walking speed, as I mentioned. But also, it's just so light that it's really not an issue. If you have some gradual curves, you can't really tell too much, but you can see from that the fence goes down there. This slopes a little bit, and with a gas mower, the weight of it, just to start it going up this little bit, it's just a little annoying. This is so much lighter, so if you have a relatively flat yard, there's really no need to even get the self-propelled. I don't think it just doesn't weigh that much to get rolling. So all right, so my favorite thing about the mower has got to be the height adjustment. It just couldn't be simpler to get all 4 wheels at once. Hope you enjoyed this review. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe for more how-to and review videos coming on my channel.